Hey everybody, it's Tracy and Kate back for video number 2 on the gut-brain connection. And if you remember from the first video, we are bringing this whole thing up because of a blog post that we wrote about, hey, don't mind me while I microwave my food, which you can find a link below. And Kate is going to start out by reading an excerpt from that blog post that got us thinking about this whole video series to begin with.
Okay. So if you haven't had a chance, by the way, to read the article, you might want to even just pause it for a second, go read it, and then come back just so you're kind of up to speed. But we want to focus on a little section of that really, I think, pertains to a lot of people that Tracy works with. So it starts with, I know what some of you are thinking, but I just can't eat certain foods. This is a very touchy area to touch on. So let me start by saying that I get this. I really honestly do. Both of us do. Because we've been there. I spent many years there, actually. While I certainly don't have all of the answers, not by a long shot, I would like to very, very gently give you a few things to mull over. At one point in time, the majority of you were in fact eating the foods that are now difficult for you to digest, right? Our food has changed a lot over the years, there's no doubt about it. But on the other hand, so have you, chemically speaking. You used to be able to eat those foods. So what changed more, you or the food? Another thing to chew on. I have a ton of clients that when removed from the stress of everyday life can go right ahead and eat foods that otherwise bother them. Think of how you feel on vacation. Do a lot of foods bother you then? If not, consider the possibility that food isn't necessarily to blame. Just a few things to think about.
Those are some pretty good questions. And I wanted both Kate and I to share a little bit quick about our background with digestive health. I used to struggle for many years. Here we're already talking about our poop on TV here, with constipation, honestly, for a really, really long time. Had a lot of bloating, a ton of issues. And honestly, what I found to be the biggest help outside of food, I had tried every diet and everything, probiotic and supplement you can imagine, digestive enzymes, blah, 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 is forgiveness. I was holding on to a lot of unforgiveness and anger over some things that happened in the past. And I was working with a life coach myself back then, 6 years ago. And I wanted to move forward in a lot of areas of my life. And I was just like stuck, just standing still, and I couldn't figure it out. And she led me through a process that revealed that I needed to work on forgiveness. And after I've walked through that process, which was hard, easier to change my diet, honestly, than walk through that, everything has changed for me. I don't struggle with the things that I used to struggle. And I wanted Kate to share a little bit of hers.
Yeah, I'll just quickly say for mine, a lot of my gut trouble, oddly enough, started when I was in nursing school. I just was super stressed. I really wanted to get good grades. I was really overdoing myself, trying to make A's. And that just started me in this whole process of not being able to digest a lot for a long time. I mean, I ended up having to restrict my diet to the point that I was living on broth and a little bit of juice. Honestly, I was eating these rocks. I mean, Tracy and I have written about this before. Literally, I was chewing on these little yellow rocks, in hopes, and don't even ask me why, that's a long story. But needless to say, it didn't work. I mean, I cut out everything to the point that I was hardly eating anything. And you know what? It never really made anything better. In fact, it probably stressed me out more trying to cut everything out and going all these places and not being able to eat anything, that I finally took a step back and was like, you know what, this isn't working. And so, I mean, I get where a lot of you are at, both of us do, and I can totally understand where you might be hearing oh, it's back to the thought life again. But we're just telling you, if you've gotten to this point where nothing has worked, if maybe you cut things out for a while and that helped for a little bit, but now it's not helping, we're just trying to say that from experience, we're asking you to take a step back and to really think about what you're thinking about. Because I was kind of in the same boat that she was. It's a long story, but I just was holding on to a lot from my past, a lot of things I had gone through, a lot of anger, a lot of bitterness, more so than Tracy, honestly, resentment and unforgiveness. And when you hold all of that in and you try and fix everything else on the outside, it's really easy to see why you can get to this place of, I've changed everything in my diet and I'm still not feeling good. And now what?
So I think both of our stories are very similar, but we're also not saying that diet doesn't matter, but it's definitely not anything. So I'm not telling you to go eat garbage. If you eat McDonald's every day, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to feel great. Just saying. However, I think it's just a part of the puzzle. That's why so many of my clients can eat pretty darn clean 90% of the time and still not getting the health goals to their health goals that they want. So we're, again, just encouraging you to start thinking about what you're thinking about and how is that affecting your overall body. Because over and over again, people are like, oh, I don't want to even deal with that. That's hard stuff.
And it
is. But I look back, if I wouldn't have worked with my life coach and wouldn't have done any of that stuff, where would I be today? Where would my health be today? How stressed would I would have been? So, coaching is all about helping people move forward from where they're at. And this summer, because I know how much coaching helped me get through some of the stuff that was my thoughts that were actually connected to my health, that I am offering a summer sale. And you can find the details out on my website, a life coaching sale for the summer. So check it out if you're interested. But we still have some more stuff to talk about. So please tune in to video number 3, coming real soon. Bye, everybody.